You don't just throw away 25 years over one mistake. That's what my daughter told me. And I've never wanted to scream into the void more in my entire life. A year ago, if you'd asked me how my life was going, I would have said I was damn proud. Married for almost 3 decades to a woman I thought I knew like the back of my hand. 2 grown daughters, smart, strong, and successful. I was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force just a few years from retirement. I thought I was doing everything right. We weren't rich, but we were steady. Sam, short for Samantha, my wife, worked as a clinical psych on base. She ran programs for PTSD management, sat on mental fitness boards, the whole 9 yards. Respected, admired. The kind of woman you bring to officer events and people compliment you on your power couple status. I was the one who never missed a Sunday breakfast, who left notes when I deployed, who still called her babe after 25 years. I carried her photo through every dusty tour and brutal drill. She was my anchor. Our daughters, Chloe and Lexi. They were raised right. Chloe's a data analyst with the Air Force, brainy as hell. Lexi's in public affairs, smart mouth but quick on her feet. I thought they were my biggest wins in life. I thought a lot of things, turns out. Last week, everything went to hell. It started like any normal Thursday. I was off-duty, coffee in hand, scrolling through old photos on my phone because Chloe had just sent me a goofy throwback of the girls building a snow fort back in '08. Sam was upstairs getting ready for her usual girls' dinner with Chloe and Lexi. They did it once a month, just them. I didn't mind. In fact, I liked that they were close. I always figured it meant I did something right as a dad. I remember looking up from my phone and seeing hers light up on the counter. No lock screen, just buzzing away with a preview. Can't wait to see you tonight. I miss you already. No name, just a number. Now, I'm not the type to snoop. Hell, I've had top security clearance longer than some people have been alive. I know the cost of crossing boundaries. But something about that text. My gut flipped. I tapped it open. The thread hit me like a damn freight train. Flirty messages. Once a week isn't enough. Her reply, I miss you too. Counting the hours, kiss emojis, inside jokes, something about the tie he'd wear. Not a single word that sounded remotely professional. My hands were shaking. I just stood there in my kitchen, surrounded by the smell of fresh coffee and betrayal. Then she came down the stairs, wearing that navy blue wrap dress I bought her 3 birthdays ago. Hair done, heels on, perfume I hadn't smelled in months. She looked incredible. She kissed my cheek. Don't wait up, okay? And I fucking smiled. I said, have fun with the girls. I watched her leave like I didn't just have proof she was screwing someone else. I don't know what came over me, but I grabbed her phone and turned on location sharing to mine. I'd never done anything like that in 28 years. I didn't even know if I was mad or scared, but I needed answers. About 20 minutes later, her little dot popped up on the map. And guess what? Not the restaurant. She was heading to the Oakwood Club, a spot where base officers sometimes held off the record meetups, a place Sam and I had gone together for anniversaries. And just like that, the cracks turned into a crater. I texted Chloe and Lexi. Me, hey, what time are you meeting Mom for dinner? Chloe, 7. Can't wait to see her. Lexi, same. She said she's excited. You okay, Dad? They were lying, both of them. I sat there feeling like the whole room was caving in. I raised them better than this. At least I thought I did. I grabbed my keys and left. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Maybe confirm it was real. Maybe confront them. But I had to see it with my own eyes. I parked near the back entrance, walked around the side, peered through the tinted windows into the bar area. And there they were. My wife and Colonel Nathan Hale, my direct superior, her clinical board liaison, a married man with 2 kids. They were sitting way too close, hands touching, her head tilted, laughing at something he said like she was a goddamn teenager. I snapped a photo, not because I wanted revenge yet, because I needed to prove to myself I wasn't crazy. I sent it straight to the family group chat. No caption, just the image. Then I turned off my phone, got in my truck, and drove to my brother's place. That night, I couldn't sleep. I just laid there on his couch, staring at the ceiling like it might give me answers. Was this the first time had they done this on base? Were my daughters helping her lie the whole time? Everything felt contaminated. Our home, our memories, their voices. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was humiliated. I'd worn a damn uniform for 30 years. Led men into war zones. rebuilt broken pilots, spent nights sleeping next to satellite comms in Afghanistan. And somehow, I didn't see this coming. That realization hit harder than any mission I'd ever flown. The next morning, I turned my phone back on. Exploded. Missed calls from Sam, voicemails from Chloe, texts from Lexi. Sam, please call me. I can explain. It's not what you think. Chloe, Dad, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to lie. Please don't hate me. I didn't know what to do. Lexi, Dad, I know this is bad, but it's not the end of the world. You and Mom can get through this. Get through this. I was floored. My wife was cheating. My boss was the guy. My daughters knew and lied. And somehow, I was the one overreacting. I didn't respond. I didn't know what to say. All I knew was one thing. This wasn't a mistake. This was a full-on coordinated betrayal. Not just of me as a husband, but me as a father. And I was done being the last one to know. The next 48 hours were brutal, not in some movie dramatic way. No screaming, no fistfights, just silence. That kind of silence that screams in your ears and eats away at your guts. I stayed at my brother Dean's house. He didn't press me at first. Just gave me a beer, a blanket, and space. He knew I was wrecked. I think the look on my face said everything. When I finally told him what happened, he damn near choked on his coffee. Sam, he asked, like I must have gotten the name wrong. With Hale, that smug piece of shit. I nodded, and his eyes went dead serious. You know you can't let this slide, right? I already knew. I just didn't know what the hell I was going to do yet. That Saturday morning, I forced myself to get out of bed, put on my civvies, and go back home. Sam wasn't there, probably hiding out at a hotel or Hale's place like the coward she was. But her perfume still lingered in the air. Her coffee mug was still on the counter. Our family photos stared at me like they were mocking me. And for a second, I felt like I might break. I didn't. I walked into the bedroom, grabbed a duffel, packed a week's worth of clothes, and left again. Not running, just regrouping. That night, I opened up my laptop and started sorting through everything. Finances, retirement accounts, college funds, the house, my pension. I'd worked my ass off to give this family a life. Paid for Chloe's master's degree. Helped Lexi out with her first apartment. And now I was finding little withdrawals transfers Sam never told me about. 10 grand had been wired from our joint account to some clinical consulting vendor in Nathan Hale's name last fall. I knew what that meant. She'd been funding their little affair on our money. I felt my pulse in my damn teeth. I screenshotted everything. PDF'd the receipts, created folders. One labeled lawyer, one labeled court, and one named just truth. Then I did something harder than I thought it would be. I messaged Chloe and Lexi separately and asked to talk. I needed to hear it from them. Why? How? When? If they even gave a shit about what they'd done to me. Chloe agreed right away. She was nervous in her text. Said she was scared I'd never want to see her again. Part of me wanted to say, you're right. But I didn't. Lexi didn't reply for a full day. When she did, it was like a damn PR statement. I think we all need to calm down. It's a difficult time, and I don't think finger-pointing helps. Screw that. I scheduled them separately, one at a time. No tag team defense crap. Chloe met me at a park near Dean's place. She looked like hell eyes, red hands shaking. I could tell she'd been crying for days. She brought coffee like that was going to fix this. She sat down beside me on a bench and didn't even say hi. Just blurted it out. I didn't know what to do, Dad. I didn't want to lie. Mom begged me not to tell you. She said she was going to end it. I stared at her. And you believed her. I wanted to, she whispered. She looked so sad. And she said it was just an emotional thing, not sex. She flinched. Good. I found the receipts, Chloe. I know she wired money to him. I know where she went. I saw them together. I know, she said quietly. I figured it out a couple months ago. But by then, Lexi was already in on it and told me to stay out of it. Said it wasn't our place. Not your place to tell me my wife was cheating. She looked down ashamed. I was scared I'd break the family. It's already broken. We sat in silence for a long time. I miss you, Dad, she said eventually. I didn't say it back. I couldn't. I need time, I told her. A lot of time. She nodded. Okay. Then she left. Lexi was a different story. We met at a diner. She showed up 10 minutes late wearing sunglasses inside like she was prepping for TMZ. I'm surprised you still want to talk, she said, sipping her iced coffee like nothing happened. I need to know why you lied to me. She sighed, like I was the problem. Because I didn't want to deal with this, she said, gesturing around like we were in some soap opera. Mom messed up, yeah. But couples go through things. You've had a good life with her. Are you seriously minimizing this? I'm not minimizing. I'm just being realistic. One mistake doesn't erase everything. I blinked. One mistake, I said slowly. She's been screwing my commanding officer for nearly a year. Used our money to do it. Lied to my face. And you, my daughter, helped cover it up. Lexi leaned back in the booth, arms crossed. I just didn't want to lose my relationship with either of you. Well, congratulations, I said coldly. You lost one. She scoffed like I was being dramatic. That look. God, I saw her mother in her face in that moment. The entitlement. The spin. I stood up. I'm done, Lexi. Don't contact me. I'll let you know when if I'm ready. She didn't try to stop me. When I got back to Dean's that night, I felt something shift. I wasn't confused anymore. I was angry. And not the punch-a-wall kind of anger. The cold, focused kind. The kind that makes you dangerous when you've got receipts. So I called my JAG contact, set up a consultation with a divorce attorney the next day. We were going scorched earth. I told the lawyer everything. Showed her the messages, the financial records, the screenshots. She didn't flinch. Just nodded, took notes, and asked if I was open to pursuing marital misconduct claims. Hell yes, I said. Military code still counts for something. Hale had violated professional ethics. Sam had violated confidentiality laws. And I was going to drag every last one of those violations into the light. By Monday, Sam tried calling again. I didn't answer. She emailed. Please don't do this. The girls are devastated. Can we talk in person? I responded with one line. You'll hear from my lawyer. Then I removed her access to every shared account. Froze the credit cards. Transferred the house title to a trust in my name. Cut her off completely. I was done playing the blind husband. Dean asked me that night, "You gonna go public with it?" And you know what? I didn't answer right away. 'Cause I didn't know. Not yet. But something was building inside me. Not just revenge. Righteousness. She'd made me look like a fool. They had used my love as cover. And now I was done being the quiet one. 3 days later, I scheduled the meeting. 10:00 a.m. Tuesday, at the house. Her house technically, but not for long. I kept it short in the text. We need to talk. Come alone. She replied instantly. Okay, please, just give me a chance to explain. Explain what? That she somehow accidentally had sex with her boss for a year. That she didn't mean to get our daughters involved. Screw that. I didn't want an apology. I wanted closure and firepower. That morning I woke up early, clean-shaved, button-down shirt, calm as hell. Felt like I was walking into a deposition. Maybe I was. I parked 2 blocks away and walked to the front door. I wasn't going to let her see me roll in like a wrecked man. She didn't deserve that. When I walked in, the house felt unfamiliar. Stale. The framed photos looked staged. Fake smiles, fake peace, fake happy family energy radiating from every damn wall. I sat at the dining table, the same one where we used to do pancakes on Sundays and birthday cake after deployments. She walked in right on time. Hair tied back, no makeup, eyes puffy like she hadn't slept, no wedding ring. For a second, I felt something tug in my chest. That version of her I once loved. The woman I'd built a life with. But then I remembered the texts, the lies. The way she laughed with him while holding his hand. That tug gone. Thanks for meeting me, she said. I didn't say anything, just stared. She fidgeted like she was expecting a greeting. I know this looks really bad, she started sitting down across from me, but I need you to understand it wasn't serious. It never meant to go this far. I leaned forward slightly. How long? She blinked. What? How long have you been sleeping with him? She looked away. Her voice dropped. 10 months. Try again. She looked back at me, voice barely above a whisper. 14. I nodded. So before our anniversary trip. I didn't mean for it to happen like that, she said. It started during the PTSD seminar cycles. We connected. And it got messy. But I was going to end it, I swear. Oh yeah, I said. Before or after he promoted you to program coordinator? Her eyes snapped up. That wasn't related. I scoffed. Right. Coincidence. She paused. I was unhappy, Evan. You were always so focused on your career on the squadron. I felt invisible, UTF. Invisible, I said, raising my voice. I gave you everything, Sam. I supported you through your residency, carried your weight through your dad's funeral, left missions early to be home when you had surgery. You want to talk invisible? I know, she whispered, tears spilling. I know I hurt you. Hurt me, I said. No, you didn't hurt me. You nuked our family. You involved the girls. You lied to my face for over a year and turned our home into a cover story. I stood up, pacing. And what's worse, you used my respect for you to do it. You knew I trusted you. You knew I'd never check your phone. You weaponized my loyalty. She covered her mouth and started sobbing, ugly and loud. I didn't move. I just waited. Eventually, she quieted. I sat back down. I'm filing, I said. You'll get the paperwork this week. She looked shattered. I know I deserve this, she said. But please don't take it out on the girls. They were just trying to protect me. My jaw clenched. They're adults, Sam. They made their choices, and they sure as hell weren't protecting me. She didn't respond. I slid an envelope across the table. Inside, a printout of the financial records, the screenshots, and a copy of the letter I'd already submitted to JAG. Her hands shook as she flipped through it. What? What is this? Your affair wasn't just personal. You crossed legal lines, clinical ethics, professional conflict, use of base funds. You're done, Sam. You reported me. You reported yourself the minute you started sleeping with a superior officer while overseeing mental evaluations. Her face went pale. I'll lose my license, she whispered. You should. I stood up again, ready to leave. I stopped at the door. By the way, I said, turning back, tell your boyfriend he'll be hearing from the IG. She looked like she might throw up. I hope he was worth it. Then I walked out. Back in the truck, I sat there for a solid 5 minutes, gripping the wheel. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't crying. I was clear. I sent one text to my lawyer. She's been notified. Proceed with full separation. Pursue misconduct clause. Then I blocked Sam's number. The next step was Hale. This wasn't just personal anymore. The man violated multiple articles of the UCMJ. He used his power for personal gain, compromised a subordinate spouse, and knowingly slept with the wife of an officer under his command. That's not just unethical. That's career suicide. I forwarded the same documents to the Inspector General's office. I CC'd the legal division, my JAG contact, and the Ethics Oversight Committee. No revenge post, no viral drama, just evidence. Let the system take care of the rest. But I wasn't done yet. 3 days later, I showed up at Chloe's place. Not to talk, just to drop off a letter. Inside, my thoughts, my heartbreak, my disappointment, but also a window, a small one. I told her I loved her, that I didn't know if we could ever go back to the way things were. But if she was willing to earn trust, not expect it, I'd eventually open the door. No guarantees, no timelines, but a chance. I left the letter in her mailbox and walked away. Lexi didn't get a letter. She got a memo from my lawyer informing her she was no longer listed as a beneficiary on my will, nor a cosigner on any future assets. The wedding fund frozen. The apartment security deposit I promised to cover rescinded. Her reaction came 2 days later in the form of a screaming voicemail I deleted without listening to. Actions have consequences. And she was about to meet all of them. Last night, I sat alone at Dean's patio watching the sun dip behind the trees. No music, no distractions, just me. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel rage, or grief, or humiliation. I just felt done. Not broken, not bitter, just done. This wasn't about getting even anymore. It was about burning the rot out of my life permanently. And when I closed my eyes that night, I slept straight through. No dreams, no nightmares, just silence. A week after that last conversation with Sam, the fallout started rolling in like clockwork. First, I got a call from the base legal office. They were initiating a preliminary review of Colonel Hale's conduct. Translation: someone upstairs read my report and realized this was bigger than just marital drama. He'd broken multiple regs, abuse of authority, fraternization, and a possible financial conflict of interest. Good. Let him sweat. Then came the quiet little ripple that told me Sam had been notified by her licensing board. I saw the email on my shared inbox before the accounts were fully separated. Subject line: ethics investigation initiated. Clinical conduct allegations. Yeah, that's happening. I didn't dance around the house or pop champagne. I just exhaled. You can't build peace until the noise stops. And for once, the noise was on their side. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding. I moved into a short-term rental closer to base. Just me, a mattress, a coffee pot, and 2 duffel bags. Nothing fancy, but it was quiet. Mine? Clean. I got back into my morning workouts. Started showing up earlier to flight simulations, mentoring a couple of young officers who reminded me what loyalty and integrity used to mean. One night, I even grabbed beers with my old friend Barrett, first time I'd said yes to anything in weeks. You look lighter, he told me. I feel lighter, I said. Still pissed, still figuring shit out. But at least I'm not waking up to a lie every morning. He nodded like he got it. Chloe reached out again the following weekend. Just a text. Can we meet? Just talk. I've been doing some serious thinking. I waited a day before answering. Not to be cruel, just because I didn't want to reply out of habit. I needed to know I wasn't doing this out of guilt. Eventually, I texted back. Okay, 1 hour, neutral place, no lectures. We met at a small park again. She looked better, still nervous but clearer. She came alone. I read your letter, she said as we sat on a bench under a shaded tree, like 10 times. I nodded, didn't say anything. I've been in therapy the past week. Base support program. Figured I should stop just saying sorry and actually do something about it. That caught me off guard. Therapy. She smiled, a little self-conscious. Yeah, I talked to a counselor about the guilt, the whole situation, how I let mom drag me into her mess because I didn't want to feel like I was choosing sides. And I did choose sides, she said, looking me straight in the eyes. I just told myself I wasn't. And I'm sorry, Dad. I mean it. I betrayed your trust, and I don't expect you to forget it. I just hope I can earn some of it back. Eventually. I stayed quiet, letting her words sink in. Finally, I said, keep going to therapy. Show me this isn't a one-time apology. Maybe we'll build from there. Her eyes teared up, but she nodded. Okay, she whispered. Thank you. I stood up to leave, but turned back and gave her a small nod. This is a start, not a fix. A start. She got it, didn't push. That alone said a lot. Lexi, on the other hand, still a complete mess. I hadn't heard from her directly since the voicemail tantrum, but mutual friends said she'd been complaining nonstop. Apparently, she was pissed the wedding fund was gone. She'd been counting on that money and couldn't believe I'd pull the plug over some drama between mom and dad. Drama. Girl, your mom was cheating with my boss, and you helped cover it up. This isn't drama. This is betrayal 101. Dean told me she tried calling him too to get through to me. He told her flat out, you can't lie to your father and then cry when the ATM stops working. God, I love my brother. 2 weeks later, I got a formal notice Colonel Hale was under official investigation. Placed on administrative leave pending outcome. They called it inappropriate conduct unbecoming an officer. I called it karma delivered on base letterhead. Word spread fast. The officer rumor mill is a beast. I kept quiet, but you could feel the tension in every hallway. Whispers, side eyes. No one asked me directly, but they knew. The irony, I didn't even need to torch him. I just documented what he did and let the damn thing burn itself. His own arrogance took care of the rest. Sam tried to call again. Blocked. Then she emailed again, this time not pleading. More like bargaining. We don't have to make this nasty. If you'd consider mediation, I'd be willing to waive spousal support. Mediation. Screw that. I replied once through my lawyer. Full divorce. Misconduct clause invoked. No further communication outside counsel. She didn't like that. Suddenly, the warm tone disappeared. Her next response came from her attorney. They tried to argue that my reporting to the base and her licensing board was retaliatory. My lawyer laughed. She replied with a 12-page document detailing exactly how many ethical codes and military policies Sam violated, plus emails showing her trying to bury records. After that, silence. I didn't just rebuild out of spite. I started doing it for myself. For the first time in decades, I was living on my own terms. I joined a local aviation club, volunteered at a youth STEM program on base, started journaling just for me. Some days I wrote angry, other days I wrote peaceful. I even started mapping out a book, nothing fancy, Just thoughts from 3 decades in the service, what leadership really means, what integrity costs, and what betrayal looks like when it wears a familiar face. Maybe I'll call it wings and wounds. One night, I got a message from Chloe. Just a photo. It was her and a small group of junior officers she'd started mentoring. The caption said, "Trying to be the kind of leader I used to see in you." Damn. I stared at that message for a long time. And yeah, I cried, just a little. Not because everything was okay, but because maybe something good could still grow from all this wreckage. Lexi's still quiet, still blocked. She'd have to come to me. Not with guilt, not with entitlement, but with truth. Until then, I was done. Sam. Last I heard, she was placed on professional suspension, pending full investigation, clinical license in limbo. No one at base will talk to her now, not after what came out. As for Hale, he's officially been reassigned pending review. Translation, they benched him until they figure out how to quietly end his career without headlines. Funny, isn't it? All those years I thought I was the predictable one, the safe one, the guy who just kept his head down and did the job. Turns out I was the storm they didn't see coming. And I wasn't done yet. I used to think starting over was this clean, symbolic thing. You know, burn the past, buy a motorcycle, grow a beard, become the mysterious guy who only talks when absolutely necessary. Turns out it's nothing like that. Starting over looks like buying laundry detergent in bulk for the first time because your ex always did the shopping. It's learning how to make decent pasta without overcooking it. It's waking up in a silent apartment where nobody's fighting over the remote and realizing you're alone, but for once it feels okay. The apartment I was renting wasn't fancy. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, weak-ass water pressure, and carpet that had definitely seen some she*T. But it was mine. I picked it, I cleaned it, I made it livable. I had a simple routine. Up at 5:30. Run, coffee, base at 7, teach flight sim till noon. Debrief, mentor, back home by 6. Weekends I started writing. Really writing. Not just journals or rants, real stories. Life from the cockpit, life from the ground. Life as the guy who lost everything but decided to build again with his own damn hands. Some days I felt like a ghost in my own story. Other days I felt like I'd survived the crash and finally had a chance to rebuild the damn plane. One morning, I got a message from Barrett. "You seeing the base bulletin?" I checked my inbox. There it was. Effective immediately, Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Hale relieved of command, pending permanent reassignment. I didn't even crack a smile, just closed the email and kept sipping my coffee. That bastard thought rank protected him. Thought charm and credentials and fake charisma could patch over abuse of authority. But you don't get to destroy a family and expect the world to look away. Not on my watch. I didn't even need to testify. The receipt spoke louder than I ever could. Let him enjoy whatever dead-end desk job they toss him into now. Hope the view's nice. The divorce was moving quick. My lawyer was a damn ninja. Sharp, relentless, and didn't flinch when Sam's lawyer started posturing about emotional trauma. "Oh, she's traumatized now," I asked. "Tell her to talk to one of the 6 therapists she works with." We didn't play nice. Didn't need to. Sam offered a last-minute olive branch. "Let's just split the assets down the middle and avoid dragging it further." Nah. She didn't get to cheat, lie, humiliate me, and still walk out with half of what I built. We settled, but not equally. She got her car some savings and a polite letter from my lawyer reminding her that if she contested further, the ethics board findings would become public. Funny how quick things quieted down after that. Chloe and I started talking weekly. Not about the past, not at first. Just normal *T. Work her training schedule, dumb stuff like a cat she found in the base parking lot that she was secretly feeding. The first time she called just to say hi, I almost didn't answer. Thought it was a pocket dial. But it wasn't. She was making the effort, and that mattered. I didn't shower her with forgiveness, but I let her rebuild on her own terms. One afternoon, she dropped off a small envelope at my door. Inside was a photo of the 2 of us at her ROTC graduation. Behind it, she'd scribbled, "I used to think you were unbreakable. I realize now you were just strong enough to carry it all without showing it. I'm proud to be your daughter. I just hope someday I can make you proud again." That one hit different. Lexi still hadn't reached out. Last I heard from a mutual, she was rethinking the wedding. Not because she had some moral epiphany, because her fiancé's family started asking why the just pieces. But I made sure they knew you can get knocked flat on your ass, lose everything you thought mattered, and still come back swinging. Hell, sometimes the comeback is the real story. Sam's name stopped popping up. Eventually, she resigned from her position. The ethics board ruling wasn't public, but I heard through the grapevine she lost her license, at least temporarily. She tried calling again once, blocked number. I let it ring. She left a voicemail I never listened to. Deleted it without a second thought. There's no version of this story where we patch things up. No closure scene. No dramatic apology that fixes it all. She made her bed. I burned the mattress. One night, I went through some old storage boxes I'd shoved in the corner of the closet. Photos, notes, a couple Father's Day cards from years back. I found a letter Chloe wrote when she was 10. Said I was her hero in boots, and that when she grew up, she wanted to fly like me. I sat on the floor for a long time with that one. And I realized something. She didn't stop being my daughter. She just got lost for a while. We all do sometimes. The next morning, I got up early, did my run, sat at my desk, opened my laptop. And for the first time since the whole mess started, I typed without pain, without rage, just truth. The story wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It was about reclaiming everything they tried to take my integrity, my peace, my voice. That's what this whole thing was about. Not revenge, not justice. Reclamation. My brother came by that weekend with his kids. Brought beer. We grilled out on the shitty apartment balcony and laughed about dumb stuff like we were kids again. Dean looked at me at one point, held up his beer. 2 second wins, he said. I raised mine back. 2 second wins. We clinked bottles. And I swear for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like a broken man putting on a show. I felt like me.